Hey there, you guys. So, with all this talk about Nintendo Directs in general and, partner showcases and blah, 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 right? There's been a lot of like conversation within the Nintendo gaming side of things. And I kind of just wanted to make this video with no disrespect to anyone in that community, whether you're a Nintendo fan, YouTuber, streamer, blah, 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 right? All right. So, I do want to talk about, though, something that I hear constantly, and it's people saying things like, oh, Nintendo needs to start announcing what games they have because we don't know what's going on with their games, right? And I feel like this is such a weird Nintendo specific like conversation because like we used to say that about Xbox, right? When Xbox had no games, right? We say that about PlayStation now because PlayStation hardly releases games. Nintendo though, I feel like Nintendo releases games. Like that's what they do. Nintendo releases games. So in this video, I kind of just want to talk about the overall conversation of people saying Nintendo needs to start announcing like what they're working on, right? Do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. All right, let's get into the whole conversation, right? So I've been kind of hearing this a lot, especially since like the end of last year going into this year, of people feeling like they don't really know what's going on with Nintendo. They don't really know what games they're going to be releasing, or their quote unquote big games is what they'll always say. They'll always say that thing, oh yeah, Nintendo has games, but where's the big games, right? So when they say big games, they mean two IPs really. They mean Mario and they mean Zelda. Where's the big Mario game? Where's the big Zelda game? I think because we've had so far up to this point, we've had big games, arguably, right? We had Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, like Mario Kart World, Kirby Air Rider to a degree. Like those are pretty big, sizable games, big IPs for sure. So when I hear people say things like, "Oh, where are the big games at?" or what is the heavy hitters, I think they're really talking about 3D Zelda and 3D Mario. And I think it's like I don't know, it kind of bothers me because Nintendo has such a large, prolific, you know, IP that they can pull from at all times, from Donkey Kong to Kirby to Fire Emblem to, Xeno, whatever, right? And when Nintendo starts pulling from their bag of tricks and they're getting deep into Duffy with things, and the Nintendo fan base is just kind of like, where are the games? It's like, bro, like they're releasing games. They are. Yeah, even if we wanted to go into like just the games that we know about, right? That Nintendo's working on that could potentially release this year or are confirmed to release this year. You got like Mario Tennis Fever, you got a Yoshi game, you got a Fire Emblem game, the Tomodachi Life game, a rhythm game. They got a couple updates to like Mario Wonder and stuff like that. Like they have games coming out. So I don't know. It's kind of like I'm starting to realize that the fan base, specifically the content creators, because I don't really think it's like the gamers, because like I feel like Nintendo gamers buy games. Like overall other like gaming communities, the Nintendo fan base has a high, super super high attach rate to the Nintendo Switch games, and I think we're gonna continue to see that going to Nintendo Switch too. But I think the content creators are always kind of like trying to stoke this fire of we need more, we need to know more, we need to know the big ones, we need to know this and that, and where's this, and they're almost never satisfied, and that starts to make me like think like why, like don't you should have more than enough games to play at this point, in my opinion, and if all you're doing is asking Nintendo for more games or getting mad because it's a partner showcase, not a general direct, and blah blah blah, it's like dude, let them work. Imagine you working and someone just poking your back all the time, like, "Oh, let me see what you're doing. Let me see what you're doing." Like that's annoying, bro. Like let them make their games. Like it's Nintendo. They're gonna make a 3D Mario game. They're gonna make a 3D Zelda game. They're gonna do it. So why are we so stressed about that? Like pay attention and enjoy some of the other games that Nintendo has. Like for example, this year one of my most highly anticipated games is their new Fire Emblem game. I love Fire Emblem. I've loved Fire Emblem since the Game Boy Advance, and that's one of my favorite franchises that Nintendo has. So for me, that's the big game. Like that's huge for me. Like so I don't understand why people are asking where are these big games. Even like Mario Tennis Fever. Like again, I don't think I'm a huge Mario sports fan, But if there is a game that I like, it's Mario Tennis. Like I like the tennis games. They do good stuff. And this game, I feel like answers all the critiques that people had about the sports games in the last Switch era, right? Where people were like, this is such like light on content. Switch Nintendo, sorry, Mario Tennis Fever looks jam packed full of content. So why not praise them for stuff like that? They are like again, and I'm not gonna say like Nintendo deserve all graces, right? Nintendo has tons of problems from like overpricing their products, overvaluing certain things. Like they have problems, believe me. I have another video about it on the channel if you guys want to check that out. But like I think the Nintendo fan base kind of always throws me off because they will absorb and love certain things that the rest of us are kind of like that's weird. Like you know overcharging on a lot of their games or having super high, like price tags for their merchandise and amiibos and blah blah blah, right? And no one bats an eye to that. They buy that, feed me that as much as possible. But when it comes to, you know, something like them making games, you know, and people being mad that it's not the games that they want, like, dude, Nintendo makes Nintendo, throws a wide net. They have huge mass appeal to the general audiences. Like the Tomodachi game, I don't know what the hell that is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch the direct because I have no interest in it. But based off what I hear, that game sold gangbusters back on the 3DS. So there's a fan base for that. It might not be the Mario fan base maybe, but it's a fan base. It's a huge fan base. So why wouldn't they cater to those people? Those people probably went how long without a game, and now they're finally being fed. That's great. Um, a Yoshi game. I actually really like the Yoshi games. Do I think they're the greatest things in the world? No, but I really like them. So I'm happy with that. Fire Emblem, I absolutely adore, and I probably get overfed with Fire Emblem. Like, Fire Emblem Engage came out not that long ago, and I know it came out to like mixed receptions, but I think overall that was a really good Fire Emblem game. Like, one of the best combat systems in the game in the series, and I don't know, just I get upset about Nintendo for a lot of things. But one of the things I generally don't is the quantity that they release games at. If anything, I feel like they could release less games because I don't think we need an update to Animal Crossing, Tomodachi Life, a Rhythm Heaven game. Like all of this, I feel like that caters to like a similar style market. I could be 100% wrong about that, but I feel like that's like a shared market, especially with like, and also Pokopia. Again, I feel like all that is within a shared like cozy game like style of fan base. With that being said, like when it like Nintendo is like a machine gun, man. They fire like rapid pace. So I don't know. I guess just one of the things that like bothers me when I ever hear people like criticizing that specific thing about Nintendo really weirds me out because I just feel like that's not where the criticism should be. And it always happens right when like directs are going to be happening because, gamers are gamers need to be fed and I feel like they need to slow down, man. Enjoy the games you guys have, please. Like I want to know how much some of these content creators play games at and how much like in depth they play these games because to be asking for more games, I'm gonna be honest, I'm at the point in my life where I'm asking for less games probably because I get so much. I have too much games to be playing. Um so, I'd rather just enjoy the games that I have and play the games as they come, and I have full faith that Nintendo is gonna be making games. If we're gonna be concerned about something, let's be concerned about the prices of those games, etc. Right? Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on this topic. Let me know down below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.